And crypto edition for Denali. How are you guys doing in the snow? Everybody from Dallas?
I'm from Dallas. This is Kishore.
Hey, Kishore. Oh.
I'm from San
Yeah,
Francisco.
Srijan. Yeah, Dallas.
Oh man, we are having hell of a weather, right?
Yep. Having fun, Yeah.
That's true. That's
I
true.
think it was like this back in 2013, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. All right, let's give it a couple more minutes and then we'll kind of get started. So feel free, just tell me a little bit, what you guys are looking forward to kind of just going over. I know I have a very like a straightforward and short introduction on crypto. I can talk a little bit about mining and also talk a little bit about different coins and some of the resources that might help people to learn a lot more. So towards the end of it, if you have something specific that you want me to just touch base on, I would be happy to do so. All right, let's give it one more minute and then everybody can see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So how many of you, and feel free, like who owns cryptos right now or been in the space for a while?
Just Dogecoin, man.
Just Dogecoin, I think so. Yeah. I think everybody's pumping Dogecoins in this group.
I got one Litecoin in 2017, but it has not moved, not even $1, maybe.
Oh, no. That's never a good thing. Right. Let's see. I'm always looking for the graphics card because you can't find all these graphics card nowadays. Right, nothing available. Let me just kill this. Okay, I think we should get started. I think we have 13 people. So welcome to the Denali Stocks Club Crypto Edition. The only reason I want to do this real quick, guys, is we've been getting a lot of questions one-on-one or as a group about cryptos, and there's a fair amount of interest. And one of the things I wanted to do this, I wanted to make sure our group members are savvy enough and they're protecting themselves from all these scams out there, whether it be like a mining scam or whether it be Twitter scams. So let's start about crypto real quick. A little bit about myself. I've been in crypto space since 2011. I do it for fun. I don't look forward to making serious money from it. The way I got into it is I was an active participant at Folding at Home, SETI, Boink. And one of the guy on the Boink forum said, hey, you're using your GPU that I used to game with. And he recommended, hey, why don't you mine Bitcoin with it? And that was my introduction. Literally somebody just telling me that, hey, you're using your graphics card to support all these free projects out there when you're not playing video games. Why not? And I was 22 back then. So I said, why not? I'll give it a try. Well, actually I was 30 when I got introduced to Bitcoin. So I am a GPU and ASIC miner for fun. I build GPU mining rigs. I bought some ASICs. If you don't know what ASICs are it just is application specific integrated circuit. And those are the miners that we can use to mine Bitcoin. I've also built a few coins for learning purposes, and they're very, very easy. So if you are a little tech savvy and you said, hey, I want to build my own coin for fun, you can go to GitHub and copy any of these coins. You can copy Bitcoin and create your own coin, and it's not that hard. It takes you probably like 3 to 4 hours, and there's a bunch of guides out there. So I've also participated in ICOs, executed smart contracts. I have ran Masternode and staked coins, which I'll go over a little bit in details. So these are some of my mining rigs. I have right here is my newest mining rig. These are the RTX 3070 and RTX 3060 Ti cards. This is my old mining rig. I'm in the process of replacing these old GPUs. These are the GTX 1070s. So because as we all know that they're really hard to find the new graphics card. But as I find one or two at a time, I replace and I get rid of my old graphic card. And this one is my ASIC. This was a Z9 miner that used to mine a, a different kind of coin, and it's no longer profitable, but I just use it. I keep it in the house as a paperweight. I mean, it's worthless right now. You can't, it doesn't make any money. All right, some great resources that I would definitely recommend that when you guys get a chance, check it out. CoinMarketCap. Are you all familiar with CoinMarketCap?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So CoinMarketCap is a great place where you can go and check current prices. I mean, I check this CoinMarketCap like twice or three times a day sometimes. I want to see where the Bitcoin is, Ethereum, Dogecoin. You can check the prices in real time, and it's a average price, aggregated average price from a bunch of different exchanges. So this is pretty much the truest value that you will find there. You can also check the market cap. You can see the 24-hour up or down, or 7 days up or down. And let's say if you have an obscure coin that you want to look up value for, let's call it Zen coin or Horizon coin, and then you can just look up the value for that particular coin. So it's a very great resources. CoinMarketCap is a great resources. Once you get into mining, I would recommend check out what to mine. So if you get into mining and you want to say, hey, I have one card of 3070. I built a new PC and I got a new RTX card. How much money would that make me? So you can go in, just put one next to the 3070, and you can calculate. And this is a great way to kind of just say, hey, look, one 3070 is making me $6.50 or $6.19 after the cost of electricity. So this is a great way to kind of see how much each card or will make. If you have older cards, some of my older cards are let's see, where did they go? 1070s. I have the one, that rig you saw, I have a 6 card 1070 rig. So I have a 6 GPUs 1070s, and I want to know how much they should be making me daily. I can just quickly see that, wow, that 6 GPU cards are making me roughly $17 in Ethereum per day. That's really incredible. I mean, so get into it for fun, and you can find some old cards or new cards, and I'll walk you guys through on how you can simply set it up and forget it and let it run in the background when you're not using your computer. Okay. Another great resource is Bitcoin Forum. This is how I got started on the world of crypto back in 2011. It's a great place to find out any new coins that are coming. They're always posting new coins, a bunch of pump and dump place, and there's also a great place to learn about mining. So if you want to learn, like you want to mine different coins, you can learn about it on Bitcoin Forum. Let's see. Another great resource is Blockchain Explorer. So when you send somebody Bitcoins, how do you know if the transaction went through? So you can always go to Blockchain Explorer right here. Let's go to Blockchain Explorer. And you can see if the transaction went through by putting in their Bitcoin address. So okay. Each coin, like Litecoin, Ethereum, has their own explorer. So you can always go and Google it and look up which, like, so if you send somebody coin or if you're receiving some coin, you can always look up their blockchain explorer. Blockchain explorers are public, and all the transactions are public in a public ledger. So you can always keep track of which transactions are going in and out. All right, so let's talk about what are cryptos. 3 things are important that makes all the cryptocurrencies they have to be decentralized. It cannot be centralized. No one single authority can control it. Does anyone know a centralized coin that just got delisted and all these other major exchanges are delisting that coin? Can anyone name one real quick?
It's a Ripple.
Yeah, you got it. You win 100 ripples. So Ripple is one of those coins that is completely centralized. There's a central authority that controls Ripple. So it's truly in truest form, it's not a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum. I'm not saying go out there and sell all your Ripple, but they could change something in Ripple. They can change the mechanism it works with. So Ripple is not a true decentralized coin. It has to be distributed and it has to be anonymous. Those are the three key principle when it comes to cryptos. There are
Uh,
almost
uh,
thousand. Go ahead. Question.
Dumil Jay here. Like, what is the exact difference, like decentralized and centralized?
Oh, so decentralized, great question. So in decentralized coins, when a coin is created, when the Genesis block, when it started, in the code, like for Bitcoin, it's written that there will be only 21 million Bitcoin. Now everybody's buying Bitcoin hoping that there is a scarcity principle. But if it was a centralized, somebody can come in and say, you know what, we change our mind because Bitcoin's becoming so popular. Instead of being 21 million Bitcoins, let's make it 41 million Bitcoins. So that's kind of, it's not fair. So decentralized means you cannot make changes. You can make upgrades to the coin, but you cannot change the main framework of the coin. But yeah, Ripple is controlled by a central authority, so they can reverse transactions, they can edit transactions, they can issue additional coin. So it's truly in the truest form. It's not decentralized. It's very centralized. It's there's a central governing authority. I hope that kind of explains the difference, Jay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dumil, thank you.
Yeah. So as we know, there are thousands of coins out there, and there are tens of thousands of ICO, which is initial coin offering. So if you go on CoinMarketCap, you'll see all these coins. I think they have almost 1,000+ coins that are listed here, almost 41 pages. So they have 4,083 coins that are listed out here. So that kind of tells you that the world of crypto is always growing. And the reason it's growing is because it's very simple for anybody to create a coin. Like I mentioned earlier, you can go to GitHub, fork one of the coins, fork as in copy their code and change few things, and then you can create your own coin. So not like the only reason Bitcoin keeps going up is because they have the first mover advantage, and they have a widely accepted uh, it's widely accepted right now. So that's why Bitcoin is growing so much. But I can go ahead and copy the same code of Bitcoin and create my own. That's called forking. That means you're creating the same coin, a copy of it. Another copy of Bitcoin is called Bitcoin Cash. So not to go into the history a lot, but there were two different types of groups of people. They couldn't agree on something, so they decided to make a copy of Bitcoin and call it Bitcoin Cash. And there's tons of, if you just put in Bitcoin, you will see tons of copies of Bitcoin. So there's Bitcoin Cash, there's wrapped Bitcoin, which is a little bit different, but there's a bunch of Bitcoins out there. But the main one is the BTC. It's the Bitcoin. But anybody can make copy of any coin. That doesn't mean you get transactions or coins for that coin. It just means you're creating your own coin from that source code. All the source code for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few other coins, it's all public, including Litecoin. So you can go on GitHub and you can download the source code and take a look at it if you're really into that one. So, but there are only 5 to 10 major ones. 5 to 10 major ones are BTC, Ethereum, Litecoin is a good one. Dodge now because it's been pumped, but I don't consider Dodge to be a main one. I think it's a joke currency, and I think it will continue to stay as a joke currency. But that's my personal opinion. Don't sell your Dodge coin just because I feel this way. So Dodge is right now a main one, but it could fall out of favor tomorrow if Elon Musk stops pumping it. There's hundreds of different algorithms. So Bitcoin particularly uses the SHA-256 algorithm. The Ethereum uses Dagger Hashimoto algorithm, and then Script algorithm is used by Litecoin. And on top of it, there are 100 of different variants and different algos, which some of them prefer GPUs, some of them prefer ASICs, which is the application specific integrated circuit, or FPGAs, which means field programmable gate array. So these are hardware, these are machines. You have to have these machines to be able to mine that particular coin. And then some prefer CPUs. I personally prefer GPUs or graphical user card like NVIDIA cards or AMD cards because there's a secondary market for those cards. If for some reason, whichever coin I'm mining all of a sudden goes out of favor, I know I can sell that hardware back to the retail market and recover some of my money back. So that's why I like GPU mining. Let's go real quick. All right, Bitcoin specific. So as I mentioned, Bitcoin uses SHA-256 algorithm, and every 10 minutes, guys, this is the most important thing. Every 10 minutes, 6.25 Bitcoin is generated. So that means 6.25 times 49,000. So every minute there is every 10 minutes, there is $306,000 worth of new Bitcoin gets generated. So in a day, times 144, because it's almost $44 million in new Bitcoin that gets produced in the market. But the maximum number of Bitcoin that could be created is 21 million. What it means right now, if you look at on coin market cap, you will see that, let's take a look. Right now, there's a circulating supply. So right now, so far, we have created 18.6 million Bitcoins, but the maximum there could ever be would be 21 million. The way it works is every 10 minutes when the 6.5 Bitcoins are created, after 3.5 years, every 3.5 years, 4 years, there is, where did the countdown go? So the number of Bitcoin that gets generated every 10 minutes goes down every 3 years. So after on March 12th, 2024, every 10 minutes instead of 6.25, it would be 3.125 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And then in March of 2028, roughly, that number will drop to, let's see, 3.125 divided by 2, 15625 Bitcoins every, now Bitcoin every 10 minutes. So the way Bitcoin mining works is you need machines like ASICs. This is from Bitmain. Bitmain produces this machine called ASIC. So you can go to bitmain.com and you can order, obviously they're all sold out right now. But you need these machines to be able to mine Bitcoin. And the only way you can get these machines is from Bitmain is one of the major players. Silicon is one of the major players. And from my personal experience, these guys are not interested in making sure that you make money. If I were to go buy this machine and if I can produce $2,700 worth of Bitcoin over the life of it, why would Bitmain sell it to you? Because they're producing always faster and faster machines. So it's basically an arms race. The difficulty of Bitcoin keeps going up. What that means is there's more and more hashing power that keeps coming into the market. Oh, here's the difficulty chart for Bitcoin. So as you can see here, every 2 to 3 weeks, every 3,600 blocks, more and more hashing power comes into the market. So it gets difficult for somebody to mine Bitcoin. So in the last, let's say 2 months, the difficulty of Bitcoin has gone up almost 15%. And then the next cycle, it's going to jump 4.4% right here. So that means, let's say in 1 month, if you're producing 1 Bitcoin, next month you will only produce 0.96 Bitcoin. That's why the mining is kind of a deflationary game. It's a diminishing reward over time. As you need more and more powerful machines, or you need to add more and more capacity to keep generating revenue. And they keep coming out with the faster and faster machines or better and better processors. So you have to keep upgrading. So older hardware that you have keeps losing value and then they become obsolete. But there is no secondary market like GPU. So as I mentioned earlier, this is one of my ASICs that I bought from Bitmain. I paid approximately $1,500 for it. But as of the life of it, I only recovered maybe $1,100 or $1,200, and that's pretty much it. After that, the cost of my using the machine, the electricity cost was higher than what it was producing every day. So it didn't make sense for me to keep running it because it's generating negative coins. It costed me $4 in electricity per day, and it was only generating $2.30. So it wasn't worth it. So I had to shut it off. And once it lost value, nobody else was buying it. It's worth $60 on eBay. It lost literally 95% of its value in almost 6 months. So the same thing will happen with this ASICs machines that you will find with Bitmain. If they could generate a lot more value by not selling it, they would just keep it in-house and keep mining with it. The only reason they're selling you all these machines is because they know they will make a lot more money by selling the machines, hundreds of thousands of it or millions of it over time, rather than keeping it in-house and mining and generating Bitcoin with it. So that's the specifics about Bitcoin. Ethereum is a little bit different. Ethereum generates a block every 10 to 20 seconds. What that means is new Ethereum, 2.5 Ethereum gets created every 10 to 20 seconds. And there is no cap on Ethereum. So there is no, Ethereum is it's unlimited. So let's do 86,400 divided by roughly 20 times 2.5. So every day about 10,800 Ethereum is created, and multiply that by $1,900. So it's almost $20 million worth of Ethereum gets created every single day. And to create it, you need GPUs, graphics card like this. And I'll show you, I'm mining Ethereum myself. I'll show you where I mine Ethereum. So this is just again, I'm jumping gun, but this is where I'm mining Ethereum. It shows that I have 690 hash power, megahertz, and it's generating roughly $70 in Ethereum for me each day from all my GPUs that are out there. And looks like one of my GPU just went down, so I have to find it and figure it out why it went down. So, okay, let's go back to Ethereum. So the Ethereum uses Dagger Hashimoto algorithm. And there's some conversation about switching Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake. Well, all it means is right now, the only way I can generate more Ethereum is by having GPU. But at some point, the only way you'll be able to generate more Ethereum is by proof of stake. That means you have to have Ethereum to make more Ethereum. And I think that will happen potentially in 2023 or 2022 late. Ethereum, there's no cap on Ethereum coins. So if you go to CoinMarketCap and say, hey, how many Ethereum coins will there be in the life of it? You'll see that it just max supply, 0. We don't know. Right now, there's 114 million Ethereum that exist, but there's no max supply cap. So over time, you can have 1 billion Ethereum. So this is also a deflationary coin. Over time, the value of it should go down because there is no cap on it, unlike Bitcoin. I like to mine it with GPUs because I can use my GPUs to mine different algorithms. And if Ethereum stops functioning or it doesn't have any value, I can switch my graphics card to a different algorithms. All right. Any questions so far, guys? I know I just covered very basic things about cryptocurrency. So please, any questions?
Hey, this is Kishore. A basic
Kishore.
question.
Yeah.
So I understand mining leads to getting a Bitcoin, right? But why do that?
Why do that? Great question. So some people prefer to put money into the hardware because they think that over time they will get a lot higher return, 2x or 3x return, as opposed to what is mining? Okay, all right, we're getting a lot of questions. Can somebody moderate some of the questions that are coming in the group? If you see a question somebody's typing, cost for Ethereum miner. Okay, there's a lot of good questions. So what is mining? I know mining leads to getting a Bitcoin. Can you please explain? Okay, what is mining? Mining means all these computers out there, think of all the computers, all the miners, all this hardware, specific hardware. What they're doing is they're trying to guess the password. Just let's go with that. So all these machines are trying to guess a password in 10 minutes. And the way this block is designed, that the answer, you will find the answer in 10 minutes. Okay. Let me rephrase that real quick. Let's do a new slide and I'll start again. Okay. So what is mining? Mining is bunch of computers competing to solve a puzzle. Solve a puzzle. So all these hardware, all these graphics card or ASIC miners, they're competing against each other to solve a puzzle. Whoever solves the puzzle wins the prize. And the prize is 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. So the block, they are competing. The difficulty of that block, is so that it takes 10 minutes of average time. Okay, so the block that the network has created, it every 10 minutes you should be able to figure out the answer, and whoever figures out the answer wins the 6.25 Bitcoin. So basically, mining, all it means is you have a hardware that's trying to find that answer every 10 minutes. Does that answer the question? No.
It answers question. Well, answers, but why did they do it in the first place? I think that's what I was trying to understand.
You were asking why have mining? So Bitcoin is decentralized. Okay, well, we're going to the really basic stuff over here. Bitcoin is decentralized. And how do you ensure that it stays decentralized? Bunch of machines, bunch of computers, they're a bunch of ASICs, they're interconnected. And the reason they did it this way is how do you reward somebody? The way you reward somebody is by the proportional work that they're doing. So the way they designed the Bitcoin is they wanted to create a new coin over time that comes into the market and gets widely accepted. But how do you make sure who is the rightful owner of that coin? It's the person with the most amount of resources, most amount of hardware. So it's basically an arms race. Which coin is the best one to hold? That's a personal thing. When you say decentralized, what is decentralized? Great question. So when I say decentralized, what's the best way to explain decentralized? Decentralized means no single governing authority. Okay, it is okay. So decentralized means there's no single governing authority, and there's something called EAPs or protocols that dictates how a Bitcoin evolves. So if they have to make any improvement on the code of Bitcoin, everybody has to agree on it. And if not everybody doesn't agree on it, then it gets split into two separate coins. It's called fracking, not fracking, but it is similar to fracking. But it's a little bit complex. I don't want to go over that right now. So I hope that answers the question. The decentralized, it just means there's no single governing authority. No one person or no country can control Bitcoin. And it's Bitcoin. I have to even go basic. Bitcoin is just a ledger. So when I send you any Bitcoin, I'm not really sending you a Bitcoin. It's just getting updated in a book that this person or this transaction ID send Bitcoin to this other person. You're physically not receiving Bitcoins, or you're not transferring Bitcoin. It just gets updated into a ledger, and everybody who's on the network has a copy of that ledger. So we know that nobody can cheat on that ledger. I hope that kind of answers that question. Yep. Thank you, Cumber, for saying forking. Yeah, it's forking.
Is mining is related to that ledger, managing that ledger for everyone?
Correct. Correct. So every 10 minutes, and this is getting into the technical part of Bitcoin, every 10 minutes, a new block is generated. And the reason it's called a blockchain, I mean, you will hear this term all the time. the reason it's called blockchain is the new block is built on top of the old block, because you want to have some sort of continuity. So every 10 minutes, imagine stacking blocks or Legos that we play with our kids. So imagine stacking one Lego over top of the other and then another on top of it. So every 10 minutes, new blocks are created. And once that block is created, all the other older blocks, all the other older Legos that are underneath cannot be changed or manipulated. And those blocks will have all the transactions that were processed in that 10 minutes. So once if I were to send money to Kishore, I cannot take it back because that's already built into the ledger that I sent XYZ Bitcoin to Kishore. So that's why a blockchain is very, it's anonymous and there is no refuting it. Like unlike our PayPal transactions or credit card transactions, you can go back and erase it. Once the transaction's done in a blockchain, it cannot be reversed. So that's why you have to be absolutely sure that you want to send some Bitcoin to somebody or you want to receive some Bitcoin from somebody. So that's why it's called blockchain. So every 10 minutes, it creates new blocks on top of another blocks.
Does mining stop after the 21 million coins created?
Great question. So what will happen, it will take 2072 roughly. So in 2072 roughly, okay, I'm not sure exactly, I'll have to look it up. The max 21 million Bitcoin will be created. Max 21 BTC will be created. But the idea is when people transact, when I send somebody Bitcoin, I have to pay a small fee to send BTC. And after the Bitcoin stops generating, the value of Bitcoin is so great, so powerful that the transaction fees, and I will show you guys an actual block cipher so you kind of understand. I have to pay a small fee to send BTC and the transaction fees will be enough incentive for miners to maintain the blockchain. So the idea behind Bitcoin deflationary mechanism is after all the Bitcoin has been mined, people will still be using it to send it to each other. And to do that, they'll have to pay transaction fees. And that transaction fees will be enough to maintain the blockchain. So let's go to a blockchain explorer and let's take a look at the last let's see, this was so these are the latest block. The last block was found 7 minutes ago and the size of block was 1.3 megabytes and the height was, this is the last block number. So each block number will have all the transactional data that was sent. So this person, Coinbase, this was the new coins that were generated. And you can look up all the transactions, but you wouldn't know who that transaction belongs to, correct? You can see here that this block reward was 6.5. So 6.5 new blockchain or Bitcoin was created in that 7 minutes ago. And the fee of that block was 1.35. So whoever won that block, whoever figured out that block got 6.25 plus 1.35 BTC. So that's roughly 6.25 plus 1.35 times 49,000, that's roughly $372,000. So whichever pool or group of pool or users who's mining Bitcoin figured out the answer to this particular block, they walked away with almost $400,000 worth of Bitcoins. Okay.
So that's the reason all these mining companies, React
Yes.
and Marais,
Yeah.
keep on increasing nowadays.
Yes, yes. And that's what it is. It's an arms race, right? There's more faster and faster machines because your incentive. All right, let's just make a new copy of that. 1 second. Okay. Your incentive or your reward is proportional to the size of your hashing power. When I say hashing power, I mean if the network is let's say 1,000 Denali XYZ, okay? And if your machines are doing 500 Denali XYZ, then you should get proportionally 50% of the reward. So the reason why people keep mining and they keep adding more and more machine and keep coming out with faster machines is because they want to make sure that proportionally they winning the blocks. Higher the hashing power or higher the amount of power you have when you're mining, higher chance you will have to win that block. So if you're controlling 30% of the hashing power, then 3 out of 10 block proportionally should go to you, correct? If you're controlling 5% of it, then every 20 blocks, you should win 1 block. So that's why it's very it's like an arms race. People keep buying these machines, and that's why there's a diminishing return of value that over time it ensures that you will make less and less money. So today, if you get a machine that says you will make $40 per day, after a week, that machine will make you $28 a day, and then a month, 3 months later, it will make you $10 a day, unless the value of that coin that it's mining proportionally keeps going up. Okay, any more questions? Guys, any questions related to mining, scams out there?
How much does the Ethereum miner cost?
Great question. So there is no specific, there are companies that are out there that are making Ethereum miners. So I'm sure you guys have heard of Silicon A10. Okay. You can buy one of these. They're all sold out. They cost about $4,600. You can mine Ethereum. Okay, let's go to what to mine. You can mine Ethereum with pretty much any graphics card that you have, as long as it has 8 GB of memory. So if you have an old RX 580 AMD card, or if you have a new 3070, one 3070 can make you $6.50 per day. So if you look at some of my pictures, and these are just the sample pictures, this miner, I have 6 cards in it. I also have a miner with 2 cards in it, or this one has 3 cards in it. So if you want to learn how to mine, or you just want to try it out, you don't need all 6 cards. You don't need all 3 cards. You can have 1 GPU on your computer and you can learn to mine with it. And so to answer your question, there is no fixed price. It's just the price of the GPU card, the graphic card. I can buy the old GTX 1070 for $300, and I think they make roughly, let's take a look. One 1070 is roughly making $3 per day, roughly $3 a day. So if you get this card for $300, your payback period is 100 days. So in 100 days, it kind of makes sure that you get your money back. But if the price of Ethereum drops, then this will only make $1.50 if it drops 50%. If it doubles, then it's the equivalent of making $6 per day. Does that kind of answer your question on the Ethereum miner?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
How much does the electricity cost? Is the same as Bitcoin, or it will be...
No. It's cheaper, much cheaper. So here you can take a look that one 1070 is costing you 40 cents in electricity, roughly, because it's using about 4 kilowatt hour. So if you're paying 10 cents per kilowatt hour, it's costing you 40 cents. If the reason I keep upgrading to the newer graphics card, because they're more efficient. I need 2 1070s that uses 280 watt to get the same hash power, okay, versus one 3070, which gives me the same hash power and it only uses half the electricity. So what that means is 3070s will have a longer shelf life in terms of mining, and this will be good for me for at least 2 to 3 years. But I'm sure NVIDIA will come out with newer graphics card next year or year after that, they will not be that efficient. But right now, a 3070 is costing $700 to buy. A GTX 1070, which is 4-year-old GPUs, they cost about $300, $350 to buy. So, but I'm in the process of selling my old ones because I don't want to hold on to it. I want to be more efficient miner. And guys, I do this for fun. I'm not looking to make serious money. So this one right here was making $10 a day, 5 months ago. and now it's making like $17 a day. And I'm sure in 2 months, it will go back down to making $10 a day. In 6 months, I'm sure it will go down to making $4 a day. And at some point, it will become so inefficient in terms of the cost of electricity because it's using $2 or $3 worth of electricity. So if it's making me less than $3, I have to shut it off. There's no use for it. But I can always sell this graphic card on the open market.
Yeah, Dhamil, one question on the cryptos, like the Bitcoin that is trading on Robinhood, right? Like, how does that relate to the mining process? Is that
It
even
doesn't.
related?
No,
Okay.
there's no relation. So once a Bitcoin is generated, whoever won, you can buy and sell it. So it's just an open market. The Bitcoin that you're buying on Robinhood, you're really not controlling that Bitcoin. It's controlled by the Robinhood, and they're saying that, oh, you have X dollar worth of Bitcoin assigned to you. But yeah, there's no connection between mining and the value or the trading of Bitcoin. So do understand the Bitcoin value is based on supply and demand. As new and new buyers keep coming in, it will keep pushing the price up. But if you look at the cycle of Bitcoin, like I'm sure everybody has seen the charts that are super crazy. So Bitcoin spiked up. I mean, I was in Bitcoin here when this chart doesn't even go back far enough, but back in 2011, it used to be, it went through a cycle from $100 to $1,000, and then it crashed. Okay, it went to $800, $900, went back to $200. There was another spike 3-4 years ago when it went to $20,000, and then it dropped 70%, 80% back to $3,000. And now we are in this additional spike. And I can bet my life on it that we're also going to see 50 to 60% correction, because this is a very volatile currency. People who are buying it, they're not buying it because they have some good intentions in the world. Their intention in the world is to make money. Even institutions, when they're buying it, their goal is to make money. So if a hedge fund comes in and buys like a $100 million worth of Bitcoin, if they see $200 million profit, at some point they're going to sell it. So it's always the last person who's holding it will end up holding the bag. We don't know how high this price is going to go based on the number of demand that gets generated right now. More and more people are getting aware of Bitcoin. They want a little bit of it in their portfolio. So there's very good possibility you might see $100,000. There's also a very good possibility it might come down to $30,000, correct? So it's all supply and demand. Even though it's limited number of currencies, people are not going to hold it forever because it's not an income generating currency. If you own like Apple or any other stock that pays you dividend, you know you're getting income from it. Holding Bitcoin, you're not generating any income from it. I know someone's going to say, oh, you could do a DeFi contract, a decentralized contract, and earn interest on it. But the coin itself is not generating any income. It's just a static coin. It's like buying gold.
How is the price determined? Like the 48,000?
Supply and demand. Buyers wanting to pay more money, it goes up. Seller wants to start selling, it crashes. It's basically supply and demand. There is nothing controlling the value or the dollar amount of Bitcoin. If tomorrow all the people who is holding Bitcoin, including the institution, decide to dump it, this could very well go to $1,000. There's no artificial base for it.
But from the looks of it, this looks like the biggest stock on the market, right? Like there is no other stock that is 48,000.
No, there is Berkshire Hathaway. I think it's like 380,000. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if you can look up Berkshire stock symbol, but
150K.
150K. No, that's okay. All right, perfect. Thank you, whoever said that. So any other question, guys? One more question. Let's see, chat. There's a lot of speculation around using crypto as it's decentralized and no authority. It can be misused by extreme organizers. At the same time, some governments are encouraging crypto too. Is crypto widely accepted in the market? It is not. You cannot use Bitcoin to buy yourself a coffee because it takes too long to confirm that transaction. When you go to a grocery store, imagine you use your Visa or pay like your MasterCard. That transactions get confirmed like in 3 seconds, maybe a fraction of seconds. I'm not sure. But a crypto, to confirm a Bitcoin blockchain, to make sure this transaction is not going to get reversed, it takes roughly 30 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes. Imagine going to a grocery store and using your Bitcoin to pay for it and waiting 30 minutes in the line. It's not practical. There's no practical applications for it. They're trying to build smart ecosystem on top of Bitcoin. That's WBTC. But again, that's beyond the scope of this conversation. So I won't go into it. But there could be some use cases for Bitcoin down the road. But right now, as of today, it's just a value hold. People are just buying it because they see value in it and they just want to hold on to that value. Nothing more, nothing less. Why is Bitcoin always related to illegal activities? Because it's anonymous. If I were to send you Bitcoin, it's just here. I'll show you a Bitcoin address. Let's see. Let's go to the blockchain explorer right here. Okay. Let's say I send you this Bitcoin. All you have to do is give me this address. This is your Bitcoin address. And when I send you Bitcoin, only you and I know that this transaction took place. Nobody else knows, so it's anonymous.
Well, I have a question. So
Yeah.
If Bitcoin's influence keeps rising, central banks and the governments with their armies are not going to just sit back and watch, right? So what can they do to disrupt the market, and what can they introduce, and how would that affect?
They are in the process of creating their own blockchain. Like China's in the process of creating their own version of cryptocurrency, but it won't be mineable. You cannot have people generate dollar value. Imagine having a printing machine, dollar machine at your house. Central authorities cannot have that. So they will create digital currencies. They're in the process of trying out a few different digital currencies that they can use it between institution, or people can use it. So it's more superfluous. How do people use Bitcoin to buy anything since the value is so volatile? It could go up or fall. That is absolutely correct. There is nothing you could go to, it could change, right? I decide to buy a Tesla. This is my Coinbase account. I don't hold on to a Bitcoin, guys. This is honest to God truth. I only have $2,000 worth of Bitcoin. I never hold on to the Bitcoin. I'm always a net seller. The reason I keep selling it because I'm a miner, I keep generating more of it, but also I know I have gone through a couple of crashes that it could go from $40,000 to $30,000. So to answer your question, Shrikant, it's very volatile, right? It's not a fixed currency. So you decide to buy something, and if this drops 50%, your buying power just dropped 50%. That's not going to happen to dollar, right? Imagine going to buy a car tomorrow and the dealership telling you that, it's cost you $80,000 instead of $40,000. And this could very well happen. That's why Bitcoin is not a great store value.
Yeah. So Dhaval, the thing is that Tesla says that you could buy it and then your next Tesla using a Bitcoin, right?
Yes.
So what happened? That's precisely my question. When I go today to buy, I may have the money, but tomorrow, I don't know.
So what will happen is at the time of the transaction. So if I want to buy a Tesla right now, as of today, I might need 1 Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin is at $100,000, then I only need half a Bitcoin. So at the time of transaction, they might just say, you need to pay us in half a Bitcoin versus 1 Bitcoin. So at that particular moment, it determines the value of whatever the current market value is.
Yeah. So you never know till you go to the showroom and
that's true.
Actually make the
absolutely. So I go to this awesome website. What do I do with my Bitcoin? I don't have any let's see, Bitrefill. This is a great place. Sometimes my wife says, hey, I want something from Amazon. Can you get me $100 worth of gift card? And I'm like, okay, sure. I'll use my Bitcoin to buy $100 worth of gift card. And that's a good use of it, right? So I'll just go, and it says right now it's costing me 0.002081 Bitcoin, and I'll get $100 gift card, and I'll just transfer it from my Coinbase to that company, and they'll give me a gift card. So it's the immediate value. There is no other value. There's no other use cases for it.
So when I buy a Bitcoin on PayPal, right? What is happening behind the scene? Are they holding a coin for me somewhere?
Yes, they're holding a coin in their own wallet. So right now, my coin, you see, I have a 0.0658 Bitcoin. The value of it is roughly $3,000. I don't know. I own it, but I don't control it because Coinbase owns that Bitcoin from me. I don't own it. I mean, I own it, but I don't control it. So if I want to send it to somewhere, like if I had to pay for that gift card that I want to buy, I will just click on withdraw, put in the address. I can say I want to withdraw this, send it to, put in their address, and then they will send the Bitcoin on my behalf. So yeah, you don't own it. So when you're paying them cash for it, they're holding onto that Bitcoin. That's called centralized exchange. Tomorrow, if Coinbase were to get hacked and somebody were to come in and steal all the Bitcoins from Coinbase, your value is gone. Your money's gone pretty much. So it has happened to me before. I used to be part of this exchange called, I'm sure everybody has known about it, Mt. Gox in Japan. I had $800 worth of Bitcoin and the exchange got hacked, lost all of it. It's okay. So that's why I learned my lesson. I don't hold on to Bitcoin. I just sell it. But because I'm a miner, guys, I'm not, I'm always generating like $30, $40 worth of Bitcoin a day for fun, right? This is not a way for me to scale up and make a huge amount of money. It's just for fun. Go ahead.
Dumil, for miners, like you get a Bitcoin, right? So it will consider as an income, or we need to report it during our tax
absolutely, absolutely. Report it to IRS, guys. You do not want an issue with IRS. So what I do is I have an Excel sheet where I keep track of how much I spend in my hardware, how much I'm paying for electricity, how much Bitcoin gets generated, and then I generate a P&L, like a profit and loss. So even if for like $7,000, $8,000, I do not want to deal with the IRS on a bad side. So if you are generating, if you're a miner like me, you have to report it to IRS. In fact, Coinbase will report it for you. PayPal will report it for you. Any other exchanges out there, there is KYC, know your customer, and anti-money laundering is already established in all those exchanges. So if you're buying and selling and you're either profiting or losing money from either buying or selling, or if you're a miner like me, make sure, I cannot emphasize enough, to report it to IRS.
So those losses, let's assume your net is loss, will it consider?
Yes, absolutely. So and check with your CPA. I'm not a financial advisor or a tax accountant, but I'll tell you from what I've read, Bitcoin is considered a property. So when you sell it for a loss, the same rules apply as the same rule as when you buy it and generate profit on it. Okay. So talk to your accountant, talk to your CPA. If you're doing crypto transactions, please, please, please. I have been reporting all my crypto transactions, or at least the net value, on my tax statements every single year, and that's why it's a headache, but I enjoy it. So I keep track of how much hardware I'm buying, how much electricity I'm using, what's the cost of it. So I'm running it as a business, even though this business might be making $5,000-$6,000 a year. You still have to do some legwork. If you're just simply buying and selling Bitcoin and creating profit from it, please report it to IRS or talk to your accountant or CPA. I cannot emphasize more than that. Okay.
So Dumil, if you do a transaction on Robinhood for crypto, they will give you a form at the end of the year, right?
They should give a form at the end of the year. I think Robinhood just implemented last year the crypto, so I'm not sure how it will play out. But even if they fail to give you the form, remember, guys, it's your responsibility. It's not theirs. Okay. If they don't give you a form and then you don't report it, and then IRS comes after you or a tax agency comes after you, you cannot hold Robinhood liable for it. If you're doing the transaction, you are responsible for making sure you're correctly reporting everything on your taxes. Crypto used to be anonymous, and they made sure that it's not anymore. All the exchanges in US have to report all the transaction data. That's why they ask you for your social security number. That's why they'll know your date of birth. They will know your address. They will know all your information. So they will report it to the tax governing authority at the end of the year that this much transaction was done. So.
Okay. It's not anonymous, right? Because these Coinbase and these kind of brokers have your information.
That is correct. And government was really scared, and that's why they made sure that all these brokers and everybody gets compliant with their transactions. So if you're transacting anything with crypto, please don't think you're anonymous. There's a lot of ways they can figure a lot of things out. I do it for fun. My volume is not more than $5,000-$6,000 a year. So, but I still report everything because it's not worth the headache.
Anything about mining using GCP or AWS and using their GPUs and
won't work. Won't work. I've done the calculation. GCP and AWS, those graphics card will cost you upwards of 10 times of what it will generate. So unless you're getting free credits from your company, it's basically stealing resources. It won't work on GCP and Azure. You can get the Tesla graphics card, and they'll cost you like $20 an hour or $20 a day, and they will hardly generate like $4 or $6 in cryptocurrencies. So,
okay, thanks.
Yeah, great question.
Is this sustainable, eco-friendly? I don't think it's eco-friendly, right?
Which one? Mining?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of resources.
No, it's a lot of resources are wasted. Electricity is wasted. Hardware is wasted. That's why there are some coins that are called as proof of stake. That means you have to have those coins, and then the coins will generate additional coins, and those will not use any electricity. Ethereum is going to try to do that in 2023. So only way you'll get Ethereum is if you have Ethereum. Okay, that's why we're seeing a huge purchase in Ethereum right now. If you go to Ethereum, let's see. Okay. You see the spike we're seeing is because there's some conversations about turning Ethereum from a mineable coin to a proof of stake coin. So you have to have Ethereum to buy Ethereum or make more Ethereum. So whoever controls the most Ethereum will make the most Ethereum. And that's why we're seeing this huge purchase stuff going on. There are other reasons like DeFi and widely accepted stuff, but that's one of the reasons. So there's two things: proof of work, that means you need all these machines, and there is something called proof of stake. Means you stake your coin to buy your coins or make more coins. Okay. Last question, guys. We're coming up on 7:30. I know there's a lot of great questions we're having. Yeah,
what is the ETF that we are talking about? This block and all those are miners, or they hold the coins?
So, please ask that one more time. Sorry.
There are some ETFs that are associated to Bitcoin and like cryptocurrencies, right? Are they investing in the coin, or are they investing in the mining?
ETFs or the companies that are publicly listed?
Yeah.
Are you talking about stocks like Block and Mara and SOS?
Things, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, some of them are miners. Some of them are straight up miners, and some of them are miners. Some of them are creating their own blockchain version. Some of them are hybrid. You have to look from company to company. I believe Riot is a pure mining play. SOS is also a mining play. But I will tell you this much. They are not going to be sustainable in terms of revenue because, like I mentioned, there's a diminishing reward over time when you're mining Bitcoin. So they have to keep buying machines to generate the same amount of dollar revenue unless the value of Bitcoin will keep going up. And the Bitcoin value will not keep going up forever. There's at some point where everybody will decide to sell it. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're an institution or a hedge fund or whatever you are. If Bitcoin is worth $100,000 and you bought it at $20,000, at some point you'll cash out. Same thing happened with GME, right? $500 was that artificial peak. No matter how good intentions you have, at some point you want to take the profit off the table and walk away with the money because the money is just too good to be ignored. So yeah, those companies, they cannot sustain the revenue. Right now there's hype to it. People are buying those companies, but those numbers will not work. I can tell you that much from my experience. They will, the revenue will keep going down 50%, or they will have to keep adding more and more machines or more and more powerful machines. Okay, guys, last question. Are we gonna close it today? Thank you all for attending. If you have any additional question, put it on the Denali group. I'll try to answer it, or just DM me. We'll look forward to seeing you all sometime in the future. And if there's more interest on learning how to mine with a GPU, I might just do a short session, like 20 minutes, just walk you guys through an anatomy of how to mine. And it's not that hard. It's very, very easy. It seems like astronomically challenging. It's not. Once you go through the process for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I know we have Harry from our group. He became a miner. I know Suraj. Suraj, are you on the call? He's also mined with me a little bit. When I do it for fun, so don't go in the intention of making tons of money. It's just with the intention of learning more is more important. So thank you all. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll catch you on the Denali group, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night, Denali. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This one.